Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday for another episode of Guided by Spirit. I am your host, Richard LaRocco, Intuitive Medium. I have my amazing co-host here, Ms. Pauline Raphaela. How you doing, Pauline?
I'm doing very well today. A little hot, but well, doing good. How about yourself?
Oh, it's amazing. Yes, it is hot, but guess what? It's, getting a dose of vitamin D, feeling good, energizing. Already did my 6.5 miles this morning, feeling amazing. Life is good. Pauline, guess what?
What?
We have an amazing show today with an unbelievable guest.
We absolutely do.
So, again, we have voted one of Long Island's best mediums 2024. Miss Cindi Sansone-Braff will be here talking about, she's an author, talking about her amazing book and what she does. She is the relationship whisperer. So she has a great topic. We're going to get into that, but we have something very important. We have some planetary and some things universally speaking.
Yes. So first, universally speaking. So a couple of things are coming up. Well, first of all, we have a full moon in Capricorn tomorrow, which is also on the summer solstice. So this is a very significant full moon. Again, it's about letting go, letting go, letting go. And just the fact that it's in Capricorn, Capricorn is like a top-down energy structure. It's very structured. It's ruled by Saturn. So it's very much in the structure, in the strictness, in constriction, because that's what Capricorn does. It constricts, it restricts, so that you can focus on your goals, because Capricorn is very goal oriented, right? Capricorns are typically not like flaky and flying all over the place. We're very structured. So this full moon is making you focus on the things that you need to let go of. And what has been coming up, I'm hearing it from my clients, but also from myself. The past. Oh, the past, the emotional past is still coming back. Why is that? My God, we've been there, done that. We're healed from it. Why is that old memory and those feelings coming back again? Is there something wrong with you? No, there isn't. Because this moon is making it happen. It's just going deeper and deeper into the layers of the energy body so we can clear it out, because this is ascension. This is ascension. To embody the light, we've got to keep clearing it out. Look, this too shall pass. There will come a time when the past won't come back to haunt us, but it's coming back. For a lot of people, in little bits and pieces, not big, not huge, not massive, not big emotional breakdowns, but enough for people to say to me, well, what's wrong with me? Why am I thinking about this from 10, 15 years ago? So that's pretty big stuff.
I've noticed that too. Within the last, I feel like the two, what do they call that? The shadow period or the pre-phase within the last this week and last week, a lot of stuff is coming up. A lot of the shadow self is coming up and presenting itself. Trauma is like starting to come to the surface and ooze out. And when I say that, because it's starting to impede on people's relationships, it's triggering people, it's causing things. So thank you for that clarity. And energetically, it's draining people.
Yes.
Draining, hooking, like sucking them the life like energy vampires. So, I think that's fascinating. So now with this full moon in Capricorn, so what do we do? What are some simple ways that we can kind of like have self-preservation or protect ourselves?
So many of the practices are always the same. Make sure you journal. make sure you self-care. And I even had a client say to me, I can't even meditate. And she said, so I feel like I'm at a loss. And I said, sometimes when old feelings are coming up, it's difficult to meditate, to get into that silent space, all right, to get into that relaxed space, because the nervous system is sort of ticking away as you're purging these old energies. So just go for a walk. You know what? Go for a walk, do some breath work. This too shall pass. Self-care. If you feel like going out with your friends, because that's what's going to make you feel good, then do it. If you want to be alone, be alone.
That's really important. I think people need to understand, especially the empaths out there, need to know it is okay to have boundaries. It is okay to be mindful and take care of you and look out for you. You don't have to save the world, but yet you're burning on fire. So really take care of yourself. I mean, I go walking every morning for self-preservation. I release a lot of stuff. I sit in very heavy traumatic readings.
Right.
And if I don't take care of myself, I feel it. And what good am I to people if my vibration is low or I'm off or out of kilter? So again, I walk, I do breathing. Also, I notice you said about meditation and not being able to focus.
Yeah.
A lot of monkey minds, as when the Buddhist monks call the monkey mind, right? So give the monkeys something to do to stay focused, whether it's the breath work, following, always return to the breath, whether it's a walking meditation, whatever that is.
Yes.
Like help yourself in this moment, not just to center and ground, but then really sit and observe what's coming up. Why is it coming up? Sitting in those feelings, understanding, facilitates healing.
Yeah, and I love that, and it's true. And I even find for myself sometimes I can sit in the feelings for a little bit, but they're in process of being pushed out and purged out of my energy system. And then there comes a moment when I can't, or I don't want to sit in it anymore, and I need to move my body to help release the energy that is already processing out of it. And that can be through walking. Look, if you're a gym person, go to the gym. I'll do some aerobics, or I'll do some lightweight work. So moving your body, dancing. A lot of times I'll dance. I'll put on some old disco music and I'll dance, and it sort of burns off those old emotions, those energetic old emotions a little bit faster. You get a sweat going and you can burn it off. Or you can sit and listen to, 432 megahertz, binaural beats. So music helps.
I love that. And so during this time, remember, it is not, we can center and ground. You just have to be aware of what part of you is being affected, what is going on within you, and then learn how to remedy it. Listen to yourself, and get out there. And it's like I said this morning, I posted something on my walk with the fountains and nature. And I said, it's not, it's nothing to it, just to do it. Just do it. Just get out there and just do it. Once you start, oh my gosh, you feel amazing.
Yes.
You feel amazing.
Yep. A walk on the beach, a walk in the woods, right? Just, move the body. That helps. And it doesn't have to be strenuous, but just move it. That it helps the energy release a little bit more quickly. Get some air into the lungs.
Absolutely. Remember, when you're dealing with this, you want to come to your own rescue. Come to your own rescue. End of story. Very simple.
So it's going to be a very powerful full moon tomorrow. I think some of us are already feeling it. And so if you feel like a little wonky this weekend, there's nothing wrong with you. You're in alignment with the full moon. You will come out of it.
I love it. I love it. Yes, you will. Yes, you will. Okay. Are you ready for the big, for our special guest?
I am ready.
All right. Well, let's bring her in. Doorbell. Ding ding.
Oh, are we on?
We are on.
Hello, are we on?
Yes,
We are on.
I can't hear you.
Okay, hold on.
Okay,
Hi,
again.
Cindy. Hi, Cindy.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes. Hi,
But
Cindy.
for some reason, I cannot hear you.
Okay, hang on.
Am I on mute?
Pauline, message her.
Sure.
Yes.
Message her saying to connect audio, but when she signed on, she probably didn't hit that.
Okay, can you hear me now?
We can.
Okay, but I can't hear you.
Oh no.
Let me see if plug in my speak. I hear you now.
Great.
Now I don't. I hear Richard. Yes,
Can you-
now. What
can
is
you hear
going
me?
on with this? I think it's too much psychic people in one.
Vibrations too high, Cindy.
I
It's-
think so. It was as soon as it was all working well, the internet, and then you went to connect me and my internet went off. Could you imagine?
You're unbelievable.
So
Can you hear me?
I can hear perfectly. So I was like, what's going, I'm sitting here for half an hour and I'm like, who would know 3 psychics are good? I was wondering if we made a blackout in the whole Northeast at this.
Listen, I wouldn't be surprised if we blew some circuits. So, with that, let me introduce you to everyone. And so we are very excited to have you on. And this is actually a very dear friend of mine, Cindi Sansone-Braff. When we have worked together and we've done some classes together, and she is Long Island's best psychic medium, voted that way for quite a few years. She's an incredible woman. She is the author of 3 books. Grant Me a Higher Love, which is like an encyclopedia on love relationships. And her next book is Why Good People Can't Leave Bad Relationships. That is the book we're going to focus on today. And she also has another book out called Confessions of a Reluctant Long Island Psychic. She is known as the Romance Whisperer. So if you have any questions on romance and relationship, she is the person to contact. Welcome,
Great
Cindy.
intro.
Welcome, Cindy. Okay, let's see. Did we lose her?
Thank you for having me. So,
Hi, Cindy.
We might be blowing some circuits a little bit here. All right, this will correct itself.
Yes. So we got I think she froze.
She froze.
And that's okay. It's that vibrational thing going. When you put this much energy in one spot, technology chooses not to listen. So yes.
And so it could be her Wi-Fi. So we'll just give it a minute.
Yeah, so we have a couple of questions. Well, we have a couple of comments. We have Joanne. Joanne is giving applause and hearts. We have a J, amen, empath life. And then we have comments about empaths from Jay. Jennifer Hampton, hi all. We have Janice saying hi. Hi, Janice, all the way to Long Island. How are you? And then we have somebody, can you help me find a man? LOL. Well, I don't know if we can do that, but maybe Cindy can offer some insight on helping you find a man.
Well, yes, that's what it is. She'll talk about maybe what the blockages are. So just give her a minute. She's got to log back in. For some reason, she was bumped out. But she's an extraordinary medium in that way. She will absolutely tell you what your blockages are to love, what you need to do. And if you're in a relationship that's not so great and you have some doubts about this person, she will be able to tell you a bit about this person and whether or not this is a good fit for you.
And one of the things too, to kind of go back to that one question is, can you help me find a man? Zebra says, hi, Zebra, all the way in central PA. People think, why can't I find love? Why can't I do this? Well, the really funny part is we have to look at, one, is it time for us to find love? Okay. Do we have to prepare ourselves or heal ourselves so that we understand true, authentic, healthy relationships and love? Do we not have self-love? Okay. So when people come to me in readings, and I get this a lot, Pauline, they'll say, when am I going to meet the man of my dreams or the woman of my dreams or person or whatever? And I'll sit there and I'll say, well, they could bring it to you tomorrow, but are you going to understand that it's healthy? Right. Are you going to understand that it's exactly what they need? Is this the relationship that's going to serve your highest and best, or is it feeding a trauma?
Right.
Oh, no.
We have to have self-love first. So she's still trying to log in.
I swear I didn't do it. I'm just playing. Sheila says hello. Hi, Sheila.
Hi, Sheila.
Sheila is one of our longtime listeners. We have a lot on here. And again, if you have any questions for Pauline, myself, or when Cindi joins us about relationships, please give us a call, 646-558-8656. And a meeting ID, 820-252-05181. We are taking your calls live. If you want to call, or when Cindi comes back on, questions about relationships, whatever it may be, we are here to take your calls.
Yeah, she should be on in a couple of minutes. She had to reboot her system.
Oh, not a problem. Which I find fascinating, and I can't wait to dive into this, her new book coming out. Why can't good people leave bad relationships, right?
Right. Well, this book has been out.
Oh, it's been out. Okay, yeah. Great.
Yes. Yes. But there's so much to talk about on this topic because how many people, how do I say this? Is everybody in a great relationship? Is everybody in a great relationship? Raise your hand, right?
Yeah.
So there's things to look at.
Absolutely.
And our relationships are always mirrors into us. So if we don't like what we're seeing in the other person, we do have to look at ourselves because relationships really do mirror something back to us. Now, if you're with a narcissist, it doesn't mean that you are a narcissist. You have to understand why you attracted that person. And we're going to be talking about some of these things as soon as she logs back in. So, she says okay, she's rebooting again. She says her internet might be down.
Oh, no.
All right, so she's rebooted again. Okay.
Well, one of the things, let's kind of continue. So one of the things, and kind of answer this question because I find this to be a lot. And when people, here we are. Let's do it.
Okay.
Hello, Cindi. Hi,
Hello, I
Cindy.
hope, I don't know if it's down in my area or what's happening, but it's the freakiest thing. I keep rebooting and praying. So what can I tell you?
Well, Cindy, we operate higher. We operate higher than 5G, so the internet can't keep up with us, Cindy. That's how it works. We're at like 15, 20 up there. I mean, we're in the ethers. So to bring that connection through, yeah, we got to play in the 3D world.
Now, I think, does this ever happen when there's just the two of you? Or,
No, we just coordinate, have lots of giggles and laughs and fun and everything. So no, it's you're bringing the energy. I love it.
Just get an energy surge.
well, I hope we'll be okay. I just said to God, please, let me just go for an hour, and then I don't care what you do with the internet. I don't watch television, I don't care what you do.
Right. So we have been talking about relationships and, you know, how they're a bit of they can be a bit of a mirror. And we are going to talk today about your book of Why Good People Can't Leave Bad Relationships. And this is such an amazing topic. And the first thing I want to ask you is, what made you write this book?
Well, first of all, I had watched my own parents' marriage, which I think they had started out as soulmates, but it got pretty toxic at times. And observing that for a long period of time. And then my own relationships, I could see some of the patterns. And then doing this for a living, for
Oh, I think she's cutting out her audio. Hi, Cindy. I think the audio is cutting out a little. You went mute. Cindy.
Wow, we've had guests on. We've never had this problem before.
Cindy, can you hear me? Oh no. Oh no. Can't hear you. It must be the internet. When it's slow in the area, even if she's getting visual, the audio will cut off because we heard her in the beginning.
So her mic is off.
Turn the mic back on. Audio on the bottom left side. She should know, yeah. Pauline, message her that her audio is off.
I did.
Okay. Bottom corner. I wish I knew sign language. I would totally, let's see. Your audio's off, Cindy.
Yes, I messaged her.
All right, Cindy, are you there? Yeah, we can't hear you. Your mic is connecting to on.
Yeah, she's connecting now.
Here we go. Hopefully we can get her, not yet. Oh no. And we also have, let's see, there's Molly. I remembered. Yes, you are watching, Molly. And then we have Michael, your dear friend. Hello, love, looking good. Hello, Richard. Welcome back, guys. Thank you, Michael. Michael's a great support to the show. So frustrating when you can't figure it out. Has happened to me.
it's failed to detect. Weird.
Okay,
Oh, there you are.
you're, yeah,
I'm not on mute or anything.
No, you're good, Cindy. We hear you.
okay. So her microphone is like going on and off by itself. I can see that happening.
Well, she keeps switching off the audio because I see the little red icon in the bottom corner.
Right.
So if you message her, maybe that she can see it and understand that. All right, well. Can you give the number to
Can you
call?
hear me?
Yes.
We can hear
Yeah.
you.
Okay, now I can't hear you, but are you talking now?
Yes, we are. Can you hear us?
I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
So Pauline, tell her to
Okay,
hop
I'm
off.
telling you that Optimum just called to see outage in the entire area. So I
Okay.
think that's the problem. Okay, I can hear you now.
Oh, great, excellent. So.
Okay, I will tell you, Optimum just called while we were on saying, they must have heard me saying, well, what's the story? And they said there's an outage, I think, in the entire area. So we seem to be okay now. Because remember, I was saying, I'm unplugging, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And it's okay. So let's try to get that. Okay, and see if we can run this going. But anyway, I noticed that with people in bad relationships, they tend to be fixers. They think if they love people enough, give them enough chances, they could fix them. And, how's that work for most people? Not good. So, being a fixer means you think if you love people enough and you keep trying and trying. But there are people that we call that unfixables. And those are the manipulators who judge everybody else and they're not accountable for their own nonsense. Those traits in someone's pretty hard to fix. So besides being a fixer, people are often too loyal. They are loyal to people who don't deserve their loyalty. And that becomes a real problem. Okay. Loyalty is a two-way street. We were never taught that. We were taught keep being loyal, keep being loyal, keep being loyal. But there's a point where those behaviors don't work. Okay. And old souls, people have had a lot of lifetimes, tend to be enablers. And that's a big problem. We try to fix everybody and we enable them, which means they screw up and we clean it up. Those of us who understand the laws of karma, that's not how it works. Okay, it doesn't work that you screw up and I clean it up. So I found these patterns of being too loyal, being too good, not being able to walk away soon enough. And they tend to think that people are going to stop making the same mistakes. Pauline, you've seen it. Have you seen people make the same mistakes over and over?
Yes, and I've seen my love will save this person. My love will fix this person. My love will save them, and it does not.
No, it's
a very nice romantic thought, but it doesn't.
And it's just they're also tend to be peacemakers souls, which means they shut up, and then they're going to blow up eventually. Okay. But they tend to just keep being martyrs, sacrificing their life for people. And think about all these traits. They're also great crap takers. We're very tolerant, and we don't even realize how bad it is. And the only way that a person can break away from this kind of relationship is to finally recognize that they have to love themselves the way they love their best friend, the way they love their child. And think about if someone was doing these horrible things to their child or their best friend, would they tell them, oh, keep on doing it, clean it up? No, they tell you to divorce that person, leave that person. It is very, very hard for an old soul to actually leave a bad relationship. It comes with a lot of inner angst, a lot of feelings that, they failed. So we have to kind of get over that feeling. Otherwise, it's really not good for your health. Staying in a toxic relationship will kill you. The nice recipe for blowing your brains out with a stroke. You just can't take it anymore.
Right. I remember many, many years ago, my first divorce, someone said to me, well, do you feel like a failure, that this marriage didn't work? And I said, no, I got out of something that wasn't working. That's not a failure.
Nope. but we tend to think about it. Also, people whose parents actually divorced, and that's pretty common now for the younger generations. They're swearing they're never going to get a divorce. I will tell someone, never tell someone you meet, you never believe in divorce, you'll never get a divorce, because that's a license for them to abuse you. Because they know they got you, sucker. Okay.
Mhm.
And if you're so, saying, I'm never going to be with parents, I'm never going to get a divorce, well, then they're either never getting married or they're staying unhappily married because that judgment is keeping them trapped. Okay. Feelings that, oh, you made your bed lying, that's never gone through. Those are the unfixable rules that they wrote in the dogma of religion to control all of us. Stay with me no matter what I do. Honor me and don't punish me no matter what I do. So we're back on earth to learn. If it's not working, if it's not serving our higher good, it's time to leave. The trick is to leave without drama and trauma. And you've never been taught you don't have to hate somebody.
Right.
That is the biggest error in thinking ever taught. Don't
Yeah.
have to hate them. We don't have to get ugly and mean. We just have to say enough is enough and work our way out of it. And that's a hard one for people. Very hard.
So Pauline and Cindy, we actually have our first caller of the show. Let's see what we have. Caller of the show. Hello, thank you for calling. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Oh goodness, on the first one, it's Jennifer Hampton, and I'm calling from Long Island.
Hi,
I shouldn't have said my last name, in case anyone knows me on here.
No, nothing.
I was going to hear that.
Yeah, so my question, I guess, for Cindy is, what was I gonna say? I have my husband, he's a wonderful man, he's solid, he's a good person, but sometimes he can really just like suck the joy out of life, he's tough to live with, and I just want to know and also I feel like living with him is like Groundhog Day. He's very routine and it's just like every day, it's like I watch this pattern over and over and over, and it's like, oh my God, can't you deviate? Can't you like be spontaneous and kind of different, as far as the way we do things? And I was wondering if you can see anything or get any message, like, how am I supposed to like deal with this for me to be okay with it, or do I need to leave it, which I don't think I do, but
Okay.
what do you see? Anything?
I mean, it's very hard because, you're an empath, which means you feel energies. So your husband has negative energy. He probably has a lot of OCD, by the way, because they like routine, the negative mindset. It's always a what if this disaster? What if this happens? What if that happens? What if this? They live in the dreaded future and the past if only. It's never what if I win the lotto? It's never positive. And their energy is very negative. And for you, that can be draining. As an empath, it's really hard to block negative energy. I wish I could tell you could do it. It's not easy. But what you can do is behavior modification. Behavior modification works very well with OCD. They also tend to have a good sense of humor. So almost if he's very negative, you can try shifting the topic into something more positive, or you can reinforce that you can say, I love you. First, always say, I love you. But when you're negative like this, it's making me crazy. So I'm going to go get some quiet therapy for me. I'm going to go outside and get some nature therapy and go for a walk and get some joy therapy. I'm going to sit by the water and I'm going to be happy, happy, happy. And when I come back, I hope your energy has shifted. After you do this like 10 times, he's not going to like that you leave all the time because he's negative. It is a bad habit of thinking, and you have to break the negative habit. I mean, everybody's got OCD. It's not all bad. It makes us good at our job, okay? But after a while, you've got to learn to say, when you hear his negatives, what if something horrible? Like you have to, well, what if something wonderful happened? And you're also going to have to build a life outside of him, not divorcing him. You love him and he's a good man, but a little more time where you do your joy therapy. And joy therapy is,
I do though. That's the thing.
and he may not like it. He may not like it, but that's something. He also could use some therapy. And again, as an empath, You're just gonna have to learn, it's not your, see, it's the problem is we're not only empaths, we're fixers, so it's a real whammy of a horrible combination. You're in a bad mood and I gotta fix it. It's not just enough that I feel your bad mood, but I'm under obligation to fix it. You gotta learn to say to him, I'm not a fixer, I can't fix this. You're gonna be in a bad mood, you're in a bad mood. And you could maybe tell him, why don't we watch a funny movie? Put something funny on, see if you can't lighten the mood, but it's almost, if you could step outside of the responsibility that's your job to be the entertainment committee and make him happy. You know, there's this expression I have, if you're miserable with me, then be miserable without me. I mean, what can I tell you? Do you need, it's, that's what it basically comes down to. And, you know, it's something that he may be becoming one of his parents that he's judged. Maybe he's becoming like his father or his mother, one of the parents that were negative and awful. And we do that because we judge them. But I would say build a happiness life outside of yourself. You love him and you still want to be married to him, but you're going to have to not take it so personally.
Lighten up.
It's, you know what, first of all, we're all uptight. Okay. Everyone, to look at me, everyone thinks I'm easy going. I'm so uptight. It's not funny. Old souls are uptight. We're wound really uptight. We got to control everything. We got to fix everything. But I've learned to balance it. I've learned to lighten up a little bit. And again, if he's not going to lighten up, there might be a point where you're just going to say enough is enough. Now, love can be fixed 2 feet in or 2 feet out. And I'm telling you, Jennifer, you've got 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Nothing gets fixed up. So you're either going to have to make a decision, and we're going to say for 3 months, for June, now, July, August, September. For 3 months, you're going to put 2 feet in. You're going to say what you mean what you say. Don't be mean about it. You're going to practice behavior modification with him. You're going to try changing the energy. But at the end of 3 months, nothing changes. Then you have to be willing to tell him, I have to take 2 feet out. I can't live like this. And maybe the realization that you're serious, that you can't live like, you can say, I love you, but I can't do this anymore, will force him to get some therapy. Do you know what I mean? And otherwise you're just enabling him. And look, he doesn't want to live. I just pulled 2 cards on him. He doesn't want to live without Joe. Now, if someone if I couldn't live without someone and they were asking me, to be happy, to have fun, you're not asking him to drill his teeth without anesthesia, for God's sake. Okay. Then be happy. But if he can't do it, then you're going to have to be willing to take 2 feet out. It doesn't mean it's over, but he needs to understand how seriously this is affecting you. Otherwise, it will affect you health-wise. You'll fall into depression. You'll end up, with weird autoimmune disorders and colds and flus because you're depressed.
I already have all that. He starts to come out of it though. That's the thing. He goes through this process of, being like everything gloom and doom, and then I'm like holding it, and then he's just like everything's fine now. And I'm like, oh God, like why'd you have to do that? And I was like, it'll last me for hours, but he's over it in 20 minutes. I'm like,
well, that's the whole thing.
I mean, his last family can attest. He's not easy to live with.
Okay.
It's not just me.
You're going to have to pray to do what's best for everyone, including yourself. Just say that prayer, what's best for everyone, including yourself. And again, I'm not surprised you have autoimmune disorders because we beat ourselves up. We're not mad at them. We're mad at ourselves for tolerating. We actually create these monsters because we enable them too much. We did it from the beginning. We're peacemakers. We want to fight every minute. We gave in, we gave in, we gave in. And over time, we've helped contribute this. But, if the only way out for you, is death, that's what happens to people. They end up dropping dead from this, So, give it.
I don't want to die.
Give it, no, of course you don't. Give it your all for 3 months, okay? Have fun, make light of it. And then at the end of 3 months, so you don't fall into depression, because you can't just keep doing this forever. Okay? You have to give yourself a limited amount of time. Again, he probably won't believe it at first, but this man does not want you to leave him. I'm telling you that right now.
Okay.
And
no, I know he doesn't.
Just fake it. Tell him, I don't care if you're in a bad mood, fake it. Fake being happy. Put on a smile. You'd be surprised. They say if you fake smiling, after a while, you're happier. That's what people love actors and actresses because they learn to smile and fake it and whatever. Sometimes for an old soul, they actually never know. No one ever knows if I'm not happy or I'm not feeling well. No one would ever know it. I've never let anyone know at all. You know, because it's just, what good is it going to do? If you're an empath and I don't feel well, now I'm going to make you sick. What do I need to tell you I don't feel well? So do yourself a favor and pray to do its best for everyone, including yourself.
Okay. Thank you.
Word of wisdom. Thank you so much, Jennifer, for calling. We actually have another
Thank
caller,
you.
Cindy. Thank
Oh,
you,
nice.
Jennifer. All
Okay,
right.
thanks, guys.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Hello,
Hello. Thank you for calling. What is your name and where are you from?
it's Jay and I'm from Pennsylvania.
Wow.
Hi, Jay. And what is your question?
Yeah, I'm the one that said, can people help me find something? But like, it always just seems like he's out, from what I'm always being told, he's around the corner. Oh, it's not your time. And it's like starting to feel like you said, what are these blockages? Is it within me? Like,
That not having
what's
love.
going wrong with me?
Jay
I'm
is trying
sorry?
to find love. He sort of broke up a
Yeah.
little bit. He's trying to find love. He wants the soulmate. Is that right?
Yeah, like, and I'm always told it's me, or he's around the corner, or like, what, like, I don't know. Just, I need some kind of direction here with, I don't know, whatever. What?
Okay, the good news is that, you know, ask spirit what's with COVID, okay? And, you know, everybody thinks the world's a mystery. What's been channeled to me is anything you want to know about, spirits gladly tell you. Sometimes we don't want to know nothing but the truth. But anyway, COVID locked people in a foxhole for 2.5 years. And it blew up a lot of toxic love, right? Because spirit does not want toxic love. It teaches. That's another massive world war. So let's let toxic love blow up, and you'd be surprised the number of good people that walked out of bad relationships in the last 3 years. A mediocre love, if you're shutting up, is teaching. Hold. So God wants a huge gathering of soulmates between 2023 and 2028. Almost 50% of American adults are single in all age groups. You could be looking for love at a better time. So
I've
welcome
been
back.
single way too damn long.
Okay, now, do you do anything to find anyone? Now, I can't airdrop your lover into your bedroom. Do you sign up?
See, the problem for there's not a lot of a great community out in my area. And I guess I'm just one of those older manics that is like, when it happens, it's going to happen. Like,
Okay,
horrible
let's stop
energy,
right there.
but
Let's stop right there. There's your block.
okay.
Picture you want, I want a job. And I'm gonna sit in my house and say to God, bring me a job. I'm not gonna go on interviews. I'm not gonna search online. I'm not gonna put resumes out there. I'm not gonna get any training, and God's gonna bring me a job. You know that's not happening, okay?
Oh no, I know that. I've put myself out there, but it seems
I
to
hear a
fizzle.
lot of
Like,
buts. I hear a lot of buts. Okay?
uh-oh.
I hear a lot of buts. Now, if you don't have a lot of people in your community, then go volunteer for a cause in another town, or meet new friends. The best way to meet a soulmate is to meet new friends. Get outside of your comfort zone. How's your type work for you? Go outside of your type. Just sometimes just volunteering, getting out there, meeting new friends, going to a party, going to an event, getting out of your house. The problem is people don't leave their houses. They don't even go to the store to buy anything. They don't even go to a restaurant down the block to pick up food. They DoorDash and the guy dumps it on their step and they don't even see the human that delivered it. It's no excuses for why you can't find someone or why you can't get out there. There's a million causes that need volunteering. If you sell raffles at something, but it's, the world is a lot of available people getting out there. I would say you're a closet commitment phobic. You want love, but you're putting obstacles in the way, or you're saying, well, but I can't do it because of that, or but this, or but that, or but whatever. But get out there and put it as your top priority. You want to find love, and join, meetups. you know, not necessarily single meetups, because, you know, the single meetups, it's like everybody's uptight. A meetup where you learn how to play pickleball, you learn something where there's other people. And if you meet a new friend, they could ask you to a party and it could be the person at the party. It's really just as you would have to make a campaign to get a job, you have to put a little effort into finding love. The fact is that people are just not. Nobody's making it. They're just staying home. They sit in their room. You know, I don't even see any blocks other than you're just not doing enough. Spirit can't help unless we take the first step forward. That's what's taught me. You have to take a baby step forward, and then the spirit really gets in there and helps. So get out there and find your love. I mean, you must be getting lonely. Are you getting lonely?
I've been lonely. It's something like I've wanted since, I think as far as I can remember, that's what I've always wanted. Like, and like I guess it's that old soul in me, like wanting to have that other soul of mine, you know? And
Of course.
like I put stuff out there, but stuff fizzles. There's always, like you said, something.
Well, and again, just look to have fun. Don't go out to meet some guy, because if you don't meet him, then you get to
Right.
go out and have a good time. And the greatest invitation to love is to be loving first. Just smile at people, talk. People don't even know how to communicate with them. They don't even talk. I mean, there's something happening with children, by the way. You're at a party. Obviously, you know, it's a family party. You don't know the kids specifically, but you'll smile at the kids, say hello. They don't even say hello. They don't even talk. They just stare at you. They just stare. And you go back to I go back to being a little kid when people would be nice to you. I'm like, why is it just staring at me, not saying hello back? Open a conversation when you're in the deli, when you're standing online in 7-Eleven, wherever you go, talk to people, you know, be open. Because if, you know, you wouldn't have called into our show today if you didn't have a soulmate circling right near you. I just feel like you have to get out there and make a little bit of effort. You know, some people don't like online dating, and you got to go in there with your eyes wide open, because 9 out of 10 people on there is just like broken dishes and cracked mirrors, half of them. So, but go in there knowing what you're dealing with, and go with a sense of humor. You can't even make that shit up. It's so funny. Do you know what I mean? Just go in and laugh. But, you know, it doesn't mean you can't look online dating, but do a few things to get yourself out there. And, you know, I wish you luck. And again, if you want love, the universe wants to bring love. Really, the only hope for humanity is love. So God would really like humans to get out of their basement, out of their bedrooms, get out of the house.
Oh, Jay, get comfortable being uncomfortable, Jay. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Get out and have fun. And that's the
I would definitely have to do that.
Yeah, and when you're having fun and you're sitting in that higher vibration, guess what you're going to attract? Our dear friend Lynn Van Prague used to say, light attracts light. When you're high vibration,
definitely.
you're going to attract that. When you put out love, it's going to come back. And that's karma. So that's good stuff. Yeah.
Good answer.
stuff.
Good
Yeah,
answer.
definitely.
Thank you so much, Jay, for calling. We have another
Well, thank
caller.
you.
Have a great day, Jay. Thank you.
Oh my,
Yep,
oh
me
my
too.
goodness, because, okay, we want to still get into a little more information with Cindy, but okay.
We have our next caller.
Calls are great, because I think we're going to get into the topics anyway. So they're great.
Okay, okay.
Hello, thank you for calling. This is Richard. Where are you calling from and what is your name?
This is Vanessa, and I am calling from Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Oh, we got the
Hello, Vanessa. How are you?
Hi, Richard. I'm good. How are
Hi,
you?
sweetie. I am great. And you came to the right person on the right day, because she is here to help you. So what is your question, Vanessa?
Well, I just want to know when true love will find me.
See, there is another one. Everybody wants. Now, true love isn't going to find you. You have to find true love. Just asking when is true love going to find me? You're taking it outside of your responsibility to find it. Like, I could tell you how I met my husband, TJ. Spirit had told me to go to a party in Southampton that I was invited to, and go by myself. Because don't bring your friends, because then you got to babysit. They're going to say, oh, this person's not talking to me. Nobody's being nice to me. And then I have to talk to my friend the whole night. So went by myself. And I'm a little self-conscious because it's this big mansion and everybody's dressed to the hilt. And I've got my Payless shoes on and my dress, my Payless shoes, dress barn dress. And thinking, oh my God, I'm out of my league. And this woman came up to me and said, love those shoes, but they have to be really nice shoes. And her name was Judy, and we became friends. And I started to spend some time in East Hampton with Judy. Now, my husband, TJ, signed up for a writing class in East Hampton, and he met Judy. Now, when Judy had a party, he met. So notice the steps. And I wasn't going to go to that party, mind you, because I was tired and I didn't want to go. And it was the day before Easter, and I had things to do. And Spirit said, Cindy, if you had to go to work, you put on a dress, you put on your makeup, and you'd go to this party. And I went, and that's how I met him. But I had to take steps, follow the leads, go here, go there, do this, do that. It didn't find me. I went out and found it. So what do you do to find love?
Not really too much.
Okay, so can you understand, like, if you're not doing anything to find love and your whole generation's not doing anything to find love, what is God gonna like airdrop people? He's just gonna make things happen when you're not making it. When we want something, we put consciousness into it. If you need to lose weight, how you lose weight, it doesn't matter what diet, what the hell you do, is you're putting consciousness into it. Suddenly you're watching what you're eating and you're working out, you're doing healthy things because you put your consciousness to it. Put your consciousness to love. I mean, this summer I'm writing a spiritual column for Fire Island News, and I have called this the Summer of Love 2020. We had one in 1967, but that was the last millennium. We need a new summer of love. And my articles are concerned with getting out there, meeting people, putting your consciousness into finding love. You have to get out of your comfort zone at least every other week. Go to a place that you don't go to. Sign up for a yoga class. Maybe you're not going to meet your love there, but you could meet a new friend and do them meet it. Get out of your comfort zone. Get out of the house. Do things that make you meet people. Because without that, I'm going to tell you, you'll be calling in 10 years from now and you want to have love. If you don't change what you're doing, nothing is going to change. So it really means if you really want love, then make that your top priority. The other two wonderful hosts have anything they wanted to add here?
Oh, it's interesting because people think that, love is like meeting a soulmate or a twin flame or the person that completes them. It's like from ordering from Amazon Prime, it's one side, I want it, and then it's going to come in 2 days. It does not. And, oh, by the way, Cindy, there's a gentleman, TJ. Hello, this is TJ. Love your dress. You look sensational. LOL, telling our story. Wow. So just to let you know, Mr. TJ is admiring you from the distance.
Thank you. He's like the best husband. And what I'm trying to tell you is I really didn't want to go to that party that night. I was tired and I didn't want to go. So what I'm saying is the boys kept saying, please go, please go. So even if you don't feel like going, you've been invited somewhere and you don't feel like going, get dressed and go, because you'll never know. And love is, everywhere. It's here. God wants us to have love. But again, I'll ask our two wonderful people on the air with me. Do you hear it all over the place? People now leaving the house, they don't go anywhere.
They don't go anywhere. They don't want to get out of the comfort zone. I will tell you, I met my wife. I was in Florida. She was in Maryland. We did not know each other. She knew my aunts, and my mom had just transitioned the spirit. So she was doing a meditation class, and all of a sudden, my mom came to her in a meditation, says, reach out to my son. Did not know me, did not know her, knew my aunt. She says, I think your sister came to me in a meditation, and she says, she wants me to call him. And first thing my aunt says, oh, you're not his type, right? And she sat with that, then reached out, and we talked, and a year went by where it didn't work. I wasn't moving, she wasn't moving, and we reconnected, and I got out of my comfort zone and started, connecting with her. And here we are almost 14 years later. So, when you understand this, is that love is not going to knock on your door like Domino's or a local pizzeria, right? You have to go get it. And then, do you like what you're putting out there? Do you love you first? Are you giving yourself some healthy love so that you know what healthy love is to receive?
Exactly. So, try some of the things and just put it into your mind that this is your year, the year of love. And because spirit really wants that. There are way too many single people, and the latest studies is loneliness is not good for people. It's not good for their health. It's not good for their mental health or physical health. It really is. People are meant to be together. So, stop watching so much Netflix and movies and being on the computer and playing games, and start meeting people.
Cindi, you and I have talked about magnetizing the right person. And you have always said, write it down. Right. We have to become the magnet. All right. We have to become the magnet to attract in that person. And yes, we have to go to places to meet that person. But you've also shared with me, write down the type of soulmate you want. Like, identify this person on paper, the traits that you want, and we have to be open, could be pretty much anybody, but the qualities and traits that you want in a partner.
Exactly. And put them in positive terms: strong, sober, hardworking. And also, you have to possess those traits yourself.
Yes.
People ask for someone who's sober and they get stoned all the time. No, if you want a sober person, you be sober too. So it's, writing these things down. And really, again, is what we want is where we put our energies. And it only happens when we put our energies toward it. It doesn't happen. It's only with love that people say, well, if it's meant to be, it'll be. Really? If you're meant to lose weight, it'll be? No, you have to do things. So it's not different with love. It's the same concept. If you want it, then go find it. Go be love wherever you can go. Be a magnet for people to want to talk to you. Be open where you go. And, so glad she called in, because it's 2 in a row asked the same question. And also, I think this shows about why good people can't leave bad relationships. I think our big plug here is good people did leave bad relationships in the last couple of years in record numbers. So there's a lot of good people out there.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thanks for calling.
Yes, thank you. Bye.
Bye, Vanessa.
Bye, Vanessa.
Bye, Richard.
Cindi, so I want to mention something here about the good people are looking for relationships, and we want to make sure that we're not going to relive our parents' relationship.
Oh, for sure.
That we're going to change how we are in relationship.
Exactly, because people have to relive their parents' marriage somewhere along the line, and that's not good news for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And it gets complicated, by the way. There's a reason. If someone had, a father who was difficult, and they keep going after difficult people, then I refer to them as unfixables, manipulative, judgmental, not accountable people. And we keep going after those, trying to prove we could fix daddy, fix mommy. Okay, we got to get it through our mind that some people are just not fixable, and that's how we end up falling for the prince or princess that becomes the beast. We have no idea what we're signing on for, and then we end up in the mess that our parents were in. We have to stop judging our parents first and foremost. I mean, anyone who's lived long enough, relationships are complicated, and in a marriage isn't just like your parents' marriage. There's your mate's parents' marriage. And if they were step parents, that would get even more complicated. And it shifts around. It goes, sometimes you're being your mom, sometimes you're being your dad, sometimes they're being your mom, they're being their dad. And it starts to be this vicious cycle of just not reliving their fights. And there's only about 15 fights you could practically have. They're about money. There's not that many fights, okay? And all of a sudden, how you know you're running what in transactional analysis is called an old tape, is that you started fighting about something, and 2 hours later, you don't even know what to fight about. You just don't even know how you got from A to Z. Well, that's running an old tape, and your parents and that person's parents had the same fight, and you're just reliving this mess. It's learning to forgive our parents who did the best they probably could with the knowledge they could, even if they didn't. If we don't forgive them, we become them. And that's the scary part about it. God has a funny way of saying, if you keep judging them, God will engineer 1,000 circumstances that will make you become the worst parent. If your parent was a lunatic and yelled a lot, well, they'll give you a kid or they'll give you a mate that's going to make you a lunatic until you finally say, I can understand now why this person did this. It's letting go of judgments. It's also just simple tools like learning to say what you mean what you say, and don't be mean about it. People that just get mean. They talk to their mates in a way they don't talk to anyone else in the whole world. And that goes all the way back to the arranged marriages. Imagine till death do us part, married to somebody you didn't love. Don't you think they would have fought viciously? I mean, they were depressed as all hell. And so we keep reliving all of these dysfunctional things. So it's really trying to break away from the patterns that we've been taught.
And so those toxic relationships, why are they so hard to leave? We can talk to people and say, well, you need to get out of that. Okay, that's just bad, right? It's so easy to say, and yet so many people have great difficulty getting out of them for many different reasons, financial loneliness, but please, just
You're also highly addictive. Old souls oftentimes don't get hooked on drugs or alcohol, not because we're so great. Everyone was a morphine addict in the 1800s. Doctors gave it like water. People probably all been alcoholics. They just realized it didn't work. But we'll get hooked on people. It has all the same traits of an addiction. When the person breaks up with you can't eat, you can't sleep, you throw up, you have diarrhea. You need a fix of them, and you call them and you hound them, and you go after them, you get that fix, and then you kick yourself in the head because you go back with them. It really is highly addictive. Mm-hmm. And so recognizing the addictive nature of what I call cellmate love. Okay, it's the opposite of soulmate, cellmate love. Toxic is that it's really is addiction. It's God's way of making us not judge other addicts. Because if you've ever been in a toxic love affair, you know how addictive it is. 2, the addiction is rooted in the fear of abandonment. Mm-hmm. Okay, and we have to overcome our fears of abandonment. And a hard way that you will overcome a fear of abandonment is to stay in an unhappily relationship for a very long time. After about 10, 15, 20 years, you wish to hell that person would fall in love with someone else and leave you. Bingo, you've overcome your fear of abandonment. Okay? But we have to learn to stand on our own 2 feet emotionally, psychologically, financially. If we can't do that, love is always going to get toxic. We're going to get in that addictive nature of it. And unfortunately, cellmate love has an unconscious contract. No matter what you do or I do, we never abandon each other.
Yeah.
Who knows if the roots come from when people had to stay married no matter what? Probably didn't help any. Because no matter what, you could do whatever you want and a person couldn't leave. So it's recognizing that when love gets toxic and you have to do cold turkey, like with my clients all the time, I'll say, don't text this person, don't call them. You're going to, a month into this, you're going to feel like you need a fix of them and you're jumping out of your skin. You better, I say, text me instead. Text me and I'll tell you why you should text us. And they'll text them. I go, now you set up now, another 3 months has to go to break this addiction. Yeah, every time you text that person, we're back to stage 1 of addiction control. Okay, so it's not good, it's not healthy, and they'll just keep going back for more. So it's fears and insecurities keep a person there, and they also mistake jealousy for love. That's a big one. I had a client, you'll laugh at this story. She's 85, unhappily married for more than 60 years. And her husband finally decides to go live upstate in their home. And now she's in her home on Long Island. She's so happy. not there. Then she gets wind he's having lunch with the old biddy next door, and she's all jealous, and she makes him come home. I go, no, don't do that, don't do that. And now she's miserable. I said, God gave you a favor, kept him busy so he'd leave you alone. She mistook the sense of jealousy that she still loved him or still wanted.
Oh, I
Jealousy
think
does
that's
not-
very powerful.
And it doesn't have anything to do with love. It has to do with insecurities. Is she prettier than me, younger, thinner? Does he have more money? That's all ego. So if you think, well, every time I go to leave him, I get jealous via somebody else, well, that doesn't mean you love him. Don't mistake that emotion for that you love a person, because that will keep someone staying in these toxic love. Because also, they stay because the person, unfixables threaten to kill themselves, to kill you. Okay, if someone threatens to kill themselves, that is really bad karma. Do somebody. And that person stays because they're afraid that person is going to kill themselves, and they're manipulated into staying. So oftentimes, these manipulations that people play on us, it's your job to fix me. You didn't fix me. Get back here and fix. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill myself. I'm not going to like you. I'm going to turn everybody against you. All these manipulations work for a long time until they don't work. It's finally what makes you get out is, if you don't get out, you're going to die. You just know you're just going to have a heart attack. You're just going to get cancer. You're just going to drop dead. You just know it's going to kill you. There's a point where you come to a place of self-love and you just say, I can't do it anymore.
I matter, and this is not good for me, and I can't do this anymore. And if it means I need to be alone for a while to get myself together and to learn how to love myself and become healthy, then use that time to strengthen yourself, to strengthen your mind, to strengthen your heart, right? To develop the strength and the courage.
And it's not an easy thing to break a relationship, and especially if there's children involved. And often that people say, I don't want a divorce. My parents were divorced. I don't want a broken home. But what's happening is you're going to make your children commitment phobics. They're not going to want to get in something they can't get out. You're showing them a very bad version of love. It's going to come back to haunt you, and it's not a happy environment if two people are not happy with each other. And again, they don't have to be traumatized by the divorce if you do it without drama and trauma. Stop hating the person, stop making it ugly. It's just not working. And, we have to just evolve to recognize not all relationships are meant to last forever.
Right. We have karmic agreements with people that actually those contracts come to an end.
They do come to an end. And again, sometimes it's hard because old souls don't like to hurt people. And they tend to stay, because especially if they are married to a person that is a good person, but it's not a soulmate, it never was. And love is like a ladder. We should have been taught that as children. Soulmate's at the top of the ladder, that heart, soul, mind, and body love. You were young and you married a nice man or woman to fit a plan, which is kind of mediocre on the ladder of love. That isn't meant to last. But sometimes people just don't want to hurt someone.
Mm-hmm.
And so they'll stay. And it's sad because, they end up, my clients that have done this, I've been doing this for 30 years. I've watched people die that probably shouldn't have died. They just couldn't get out of an unhappy relationship other than death. And, they got cancer, and that's a wake-up call, and it doesn't matter how much treatment you do. If you're not getting out of the situation that's making you unhappy, nothing's going to work.
Right.
So it's understanding a mind-body connection and finally working your way out of it. It's never easy. There's no place for us to be in a long-term relationship if you want to get out. It really is awful.
Well, there's always a message in someone's disease, right?
Absolutely.
What is the message? Cindi, show us your book.
Okie dokie. It's right here. Why good people can't leave bad relationships. Okay. And it is available on Amazon, by the way. And, I think it's pretty funny that we have this whole internet outage pretty far and wide. And throughout the whole show, Optimum keeps calling me, we're working on it. And I kept saying, well, we're okay here. Do you know what I mean? But it just seems a little odd timing, but it was at the exact second the show went on. It's just very, very odd, And thank God we were patient because it was, one of those things.
Yeah.
Was Cindi Sansone. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of Guided by Spirit every Thursday on Facebook Live. And then you can catch our episodes with Pauline Raffaella and myself, Richard LaRocco, on Spotify. Thank you so much. Everyone, have a great day.